This is Rogue Wing, Coraline, or Helen RD over at Starship Modeler. Welcome to the workshop. Greetings. Time for a small update on Changewind One. Gone in, using those blocks that I showed you in the last update, glued them down to the top of the SR-71 wings, and then to start constructing these pods on the tops of the wings, I cut up some sheet styrene and have epoxied that to the wooden blocks. Once the side pieces have set, I'll go in and cut a piece for the top, and we'll go from there. Okay, just a brief little update. Got the skins on the top of the new engines. Still got to go in, trim these up a little. What I'm probably going to do here on the fronts is put a grill of some kind to hide the wood detail in the back. And back here, I need some engine nozzles. Fortunately, I think I know what I can use there. I still need to go in and finish skinning the engines. I also had to make one slight change to the bottom of the nose piece. When I test fit it with the cockpit deck lying on top, the fit into the nose was actually a little too tight. So what I did is I took my Dremel and shaved this down by probably 2/3 of what it had been. So now I could take the cockpit deck and actually glue it down onto the landing gear well. But that's where we're sitting right now. Okay, decided to to at least get started on the cockpit. What I've done is I've braced the deck piece in place and gone in with some plasticine clay and filled where the gap would be. I'm using the plasticine so I can pop it away from the hull without too much trouble once I release the rubber bands. So then I can use that. You can make out the walls of the plasticine clay. I can use that as a guide for sculpting the interior of the cockpit. And then what I'm probably going to do, once I've got the cockpit sculpted in place, is I'll make a mold of the cockpit piece and cast it in resin so that I've got the details I want in it without having to worry about sculpting the cockpit in position on the plane. Stay tuned for more. Okay, last time we saw this, I was trying to build the cockpit bay out of plasticine clay so that I could cast a mold out of it. That didn't work. The problem I ran into was the plasticine wanted to stick to the model plastic. So, after coating the back side of this with something to make it less conducive to sticking, I've gone in and done the same fill I had before, only this time I'm using Abe's epoxy sculpt. Trim that up just a little. There we go. I'm using Abe's epoxy sculpt to give me the basis for the walls. The other advantage this will give me is once I peel this off, it'll be stiffer than it would have been with the clay. So this should pay off. Going to wait at least a while before I try to peel this fuselage piece off, and we'll see where we're sitting. Still got to work on the engines. Those will be the next step. But things are coming along. Okay, I took a couple of days off, mostly because I had a serious case of the blahs and didn't feel like working on anything. But we're back at it. I actually got some stuff done. What I've done with the engine blocks so far is we've got 2 of the 4 sets of corners beveled off with Aves. I need to go in, let this one cure up so I can smooth that off. Also done. This one I've actually got 2 sides done on. This side I've actually gone in and done some filing on. As you can tell, this side I just did today, so I need to go in and smooth it down as well. And then I need to do the flip sides so I can start working on both the intake end and the thrust end of those. Biggest thing I've gotten done at this point is I've roughed in the cockpit. Got the forward console and 2 auxiliary consoles in place. The chairs are actually the benches from the N-scale figure set that I got for the Harlot. I just cut them in pieces and put them up against the wall. The consoles are just sculpted in Aves. I'll probably hone them a little once this has had a chance to cure. The strip of styrene here I just kind of put in as a detail piece. I'll be putting a back wall on the cockpit. And at this point, I've pretty much abandoned my idea of making castings of this. So I'll carve a door into the styrene I've cut for the plastic. Cut for the back wall. And I'll just super glue it into place back here behind the seats. But that's where we're sitting, and hopefully things will start to progress a little faster now. The big thing I've gotten out of the way is the cockpit.